so it's 5 a.m. I'm just leaving home because I'm going to do as promised. I'm going to take the new Sony ZV E10 to the top of a mountain. In fact, 2, possibly even 3. So here goes. Okay, so I've arrived. I'll tell you a little bit more about the walk as we go. The sun's just coming up, so the light's fairly low, and let's get going. Okay, so it was my hope to pull out my new Sony ZV E10 and film some of this because I brought with me a new lens, and I think it could be the ultimate vlogging lens for the Sony ZV E10. But I'm going to show you that in a little while, so I don't want to damage that. So I'll get that out a little closer to the top. Where am I? That's the $6 million question. I know where I am, but I'm not going to tell you exactly where I am because it's a secret. I am on the Sunshine Coast in the Glasshouse Mountains area, and you'll see some of those in just a bit. This is a lot more challenging than I thought as you climb between the 2 peaks. I'm in the saddle. Okay. I haven't hiked for a while, what with COVID and some other things that have been going on. We're doing house renovations and all sorts of stuff. And I technically retired about 3 months ago, and so I've been really busy since retirement. What happened to this you relax when you retire business? That hasn't happened to me yet. Not at all. I think I might get a job. It's a bit easier. And so I'm a little bit tentative this morning on this hike because I'm a little bit cautious. Unusual for me. I am on my own though, and so if you have an accident, there's no one to help you. That's a hint at what's coming. Whoa. I'm on the top of this secret destination in the Sunshine Coast Glasshouse Mountains region, and I'm here with the Sony ZV E10. I told you I'd come to the top of a mountain. I've actually been to 2, but it's only on the top of this mountain that I've actually got out my camera. I'm in the Sunshine Coast hinterland, and we turn around this way. Is that better? I'm in the Sunshine Coast hinterland, and behind me are the Glasshouse Mountains. Okay, so these little beauties are the Glasshouse Mountains, so named by Captain Cook as he sailed up the coast of Queensland, wasn't called Queensland then of course, to in the Endeavour, and he saw these unusual, what do you call them, volcanic plugs, and he called them the Glasshouse Mountains, and so they are called to this day. So why am I in this iconic location? Well, it's to show you this thing. And it is the amazing Sigma 16mm f1.4. How fast is that? And I believe from a lot of research and from what I'm discovering myself, I've only had it for less than 24 hours, that this is probably the ultimate vlogging lens for the Sony ZV E10 or the ZV E10, whatever you call it. And this is the lens to get if you want an awesome lens for vlogging. A lot of people are using this. It's tried and proven. It's been out for a few years now. The Sigma 16mm f1.4. How fast is that? Great for star shots and what have you, and great for getting that background blur. Just seeing how this lens is, I think it's outstanding. Not sure if it's the sort of lens to take, you know, up mountains. And if you do, make sure you keep it in your backpack until you get to the top of the mountain. I don't think it's the thing to be scrambling over rocks with. But here it is, the Sigma 16mm f1.4. How amazing is that? And so I think it's pretty good. And it was so good I brought it up to this secret location in the Sunshine Coast hinterland. I've just got to say a big thank you to Mark Bennett for his channel, Mark Bennett's Camera Crisis, for explaining the feature on the camera, the ZV E10, called Clear Image Zoom. I was using that while I was on top of that mystery Twin Peaks mountain with using the Sigma 16mm f1.4, and I was amazed how sharp the image was and how it didn't lose any quality while I was zooming a little bit with it. And so thank you to Mark for explaining that for us. It's an absolute amazing feature. I don't know how Sony do it. Still using this Sigma. One place I wanted to go to is Wild Horse Mountain, so I'll take you there. There's an awesome lookout, and we'll do a fly around that lookout, and you'll like it right now.
One day later.
Well, I have to ask you to forgive my attire. I'm just about to start work on my house, as I've been doing for the last 3 or 4 weeks. But I wanted to finish off this video about the Sigma 16 by f1.4 super fast lens that I think is absolutely ideal vlogging lens for the new ZV E10. As I say, it's been around for a few years. It's been tried and tested, and a lot of vloggers, in fact, are using this lens. Quite a few people have commented on the weight of the lens and the size of the lens. It's perhaps double at least the size of the equivalent Sony lens, and it doesn't have in-body stabilization. But for me, that's not a major issue. If you're filming on a tripod, I like it. And you know, for me, it's kind of like, it completes the camera. The size of the lens, it's kind of like when I'm out shooting with this, I'm going to be holding it like that. It'd be harder with the smaller lens. This is kind of like a bit of an awkward way to hold a camera anymore. But this is ideal, perfect for shooting, perfect for filming. If you're, you know, doing running gun sort of stuff, out and about, getting photographs or videos. I like to do that kind of thing, and often I will put it on a tripod, and it just fits on the Fayutech G6 gimbal. As I said in my video, you wouldn't be using this to be hiking up and down a mountain where it's bouncing around and potentially could get damaged. But I like the camera, I like the weight. It's not too heavy, but it's got enough weight to feel premium. Its build is beautiful. I believe it's manual focus by wire. I haven't tested that out yet, but I'll have time to do that soon. But I wanted to take some shots with this because I actually believe this camera is a good photography camera as well as vlogging and video camera, and so I wanted to take some shots with it. I've got to confess my sin a little bit here. When I did my last video, I was complaining about not being able to see the screen. How embarrassment. I found out later that you can actually boost the light on the screen, and you can actually set it to, you know, bright light, bright sunny days, and I did that, and it kind of like doubled what I could see. And so hopefully it's fixed the problem of not having an EVF, although I do like an EVF. But when I first got the camera, I just wanted to take some photographs with it to show that it was a good photography camera, and I got some of my guitars set up so I could take photographs. I've got one with a really nice fretboard, and take some photos of the fretboard and get up close, you know, some of those macro style shots where one area is in focus and the rest is blurred. And it was great for doing that. I was super impressed, and you know, I'm kind of falling in love with this camera more and more, the Sony ZV E10. I really think it's a good camera. I think it's a good photography camera as well as a video camera. And as I say, you can get rid of some of that shaky catalyst browse, and it works very, very well. It's almost like a gimbal slayer. Not quite, but almost. And in some circumstances, I think catalyst browse, which is freeware from Sony that you can use, and I think catalyst browse will even deal with some of the rolling shutter issues that people keep talking about. I did see something about that somewhere down the track. Absolutely worth checking out as a vlogging lens for the ZV E10, the Sigma 16mm f1.4 super fast. It's a lens you've got to have. No in-body stabilization, but for me that's not an issue. I don't want to use the stabilization in camera anyway. I'll either use a gimbal or I'll use catalyst browse, which is fabulous and I love it. And the photo quality and the video quality from this camera is so good. Forgive me for being so messy today. I've got to get out on the job and I've got to finish filling up a trench. And so I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully I'll have a nice neutral density, variable neutral density filter to try out on this camera, and we'll see how we go with that. Okay, I'm out here at Redcliffe Airport and we're about to go gliding.